For months, people had questions, but they were easy to ignore. After all, it was just online noise, critics doing what critics do. But that noise, it never really faded. It just waited. And now, someone from inside the circle, someone close, is speaking. And what's coming out isn't just messy. It's suggesting that the whole story, the one you thought you knew, might have been carefully built from the ground up. A narrative. A performance. And the receipts? They're starting to stack.
I realized it was just basically to tell me that I didn't know Erica, that Erica was lying at every single point in time, and that she never loved Charlie.
Candace Owens truly believes,
yes,
based off your conversation with her,
yes,
that Erica never loved Charlie, and it's based off what?
Well, it's based off a delusion. When you have someone that's outside that is trying to outright destroy someone, they will take any tactic that they can if they believe that it serves their actual narrative and purpose.
In the summer, there were conversations of your daughter potentially like adding to her role and or doing more traveling, and you didn't even know if it was the campus events in general.
Let that sink in. The claim isn't just that Erica lied about small details. It's that she was lying at every single point in time, that she never loved Charlie, that everything we saw was, allegedly, a performance. And when that comes from a conversation like this, not a random comment, but a pointed, on-camera discussion, people don't just scroll past. They start rewinding. Because suddenly, it's not about a messy timeline. It's about intent. And once you question the intent, the whole foundation starts to crack. And here's the thing. Tracy Martin, someone described as a close friend, is now being linked to these claims. That detail shifts the gravity. Critique from the outside is expected, but when it comes from within, that's when people stop dismissing it as hate and start treating it like a pattern worth examining.
How to be a biblical woman in society. I think it was Elizabeth Elliot that said, being a woman does not make me a better Christian or a certain Christian, but being a Christian makes me a very different woman. And I think understanding, yes, your biblical role, but also like be the woman that your future husband deserves. Like be the woman that, God wants you to be. You don't have to be out partying. Don't, be crazy thinking like I'm running out of time when your God is the author of time.
Now, that clipo, a woman giving biblical advice, poised, pure, untouched by the world, that was the image that held for a very long time. But then, the past started resurfacing. The reality TV appearances, the social settings, a completely different energy. Not wrong on its own, but very different from what she later described. That's where the first crack showed. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, because it raises an uncomfortable question. Which version is curated, and which one is real? Then came the relationships. Public ones, documented, visible at the time. Names like J.T. Massey and Josh Geraldson. Photos, interviews, clear connections. But those same connections were later minimized or disappeared from her story entirely. And that's not just moving on from the past. That's rewriting it. And people noticed.
Back in 2013, Erika Kirk, or rather Erika Franzvy, because that's her maiden name, was dating a basketball player named Joshua Harrelson. Joshua Harrelson's Twitter handle is @BigGeorge55. That is a crazy Twitter handle. Anyways, how do I know this? How do I know that they dated? Well, despite Erika deleting all of her old posts and pictures and privating her old accounts, many people commented underneath her posts, and those comments underneath her posts are still visible on Twitter. For example, this tweet from November 11, 2013, at Erika Franzvy at BigGeorge55. It's the best when it's like that. Everything is just practice until the one.
And here's where the timeline gets uncomfortable. Because when you combine her public image with what was happening offline, things don't align. According to what's circulating, there are questions about where she was actually staying during certain periods. Mentions of hourly rentals, locations that didn't match the narrative. Nothing officially proven, but the details are specific enough that people started looking twice. Because if everything was genuine, why would any part of the story need staging at all? And that's the question that keeps echoing. Not just about her past, but about how she stepped into the spotlight after Charlie's passing. The speed, the composure, the expansion of her presence. Some called it strength, others saw something else, preparedness. And when you layer that over what's now being said behind the scenes, it stops looking like coincidence and starts looking like a puzzle.
USA did a massive purge of employees a few days ago, or at the end of, I guess, last week, you could say. What did you hear about that purge?
I heard there were 30 to 40 people purged, that they were looking for the leak. They knew there are leaks out of TPUSA. They are terrified of these leaks because of what TPUSA has been up to. And rather than try to be an honest organization, it's just let's get rid of all the people we think might be disclosing that we're a dishonest organization.
It's just unbelievable.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
No, and I know you're going to keep saying I understand. Yeah. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer. But yeah. I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for AmFest.
Yeah, I think
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but been backwards for this organization, to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
no, I understand. It's time to.
So do I get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody? Or
nope.
No, and there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go.
Right now, we'll leave it all.
You know, and you're gonna keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave the property?
Yes.
Due to what, Frank?
Because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation for this. I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat in this chair.
You're gonna do great things.
No, and I plan to.
I don't think your livelihood's being tossed out. I think you're very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. But at this time, it's time for you to go.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this is the treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time to go.
Frank, this is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
I do understand where you're coming from.
This feels completely without emotion.
This isn't happening in isolation. Turning Point USA reportedly purged 30 to 40 people. Employees asking basic questions were met with cold exits. No explanation, just we're going in a different direction. And when an organization that preaches transparency appears terrified of leaks, people naturally ask, what exactly were they so afraid of? Combine that fear with what's now coming out about Erika, and the picture gets darker, because it suggests the story was never just about grief or faith. It was a managed narrative, and anyone who might speak out was shown the door. So here we are, the past relationships, the shifting timelines, the internal purges, and now a voice from inside saying it was all a lie. Allegations? Yes, but consistent enough that the internet is refusing to let this go. Because if even part of this is accurate, the entire story we were told needs to be re-examined. And if it's not true, then why does it keep coming back, stronger, each time with more receipts? The real question now isn't whether Erika's story had cracks, it's whether the whole thing was built on them from the start. And if more insiders find the courage to speak, what else is going to come out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Smash that like button so more people see this, and hit subscribe for stories the mainstream won't push. Until next time, stay sharp.